The next exercise is an arm raising exercise. It begins the first energy cycle or circle that we perform, where we're really looking at the way that yin and yang play in the body. We say play Tai Chi because these complementary forces never fight each other. They move and work together. Also because having that attitude of being playful helps us to not be tense and take things so seriously. The arm raising exercise follows from the Wuji posture. By standing sideways, it might be easier for you to see my vertical axis. So we'll start from this point of view. I set up my Wuji posture by setting my feet about shoulder width apart and parallel. Taking a breath from the bottom to the top, I anchor the Baihui point at the crown of my head and begin my relaxation down through the shoulder well, down through Clyman at the chest, Zhangmen at the floating rib and waistline, Qi Chong and the inguinal crease or front of the groins, Mingmen at the lower back, and I begin to bend my hips and knees and let my pelvis settle. Now I have that straight hanging posture. That's not only straight because, that isn't straight because it's tense, but straight because I'm relaxed and sinking my energy from the top of my head, down through my fingertips and down through my feet. I'm also doing my Qigong breath, which begins from the lower abdomen and continues to expand in all directions and rise up. Keeping these things going, I'll begin my arm raising exercise. The important things to remember about the exercise are to try to maintain your Wuji straightness at all times. When the vertical axis is broken, no longer can gravity sink down from the top to the bottom of the body, and that begins to do all kinds of things in throwing our posture off, creating tension, and creating weakness in the sense that we have poor alignment through the body. A balance of yin and yang in our posture means good alignment, but a soft body state, so that we continue to be able to transfer energy through the body even as we move. So the body acts sort of like a spring, but a very gentle spring. Not something that's tense and ready to explode, but something that's ready to absorb energy. A couple of things to look out for during this exercise. One is counterbalancing as the arms raise up by leaning back. Very often, a lot of new students, when they raise their arms, do so and lean back like this. That's certainly not our vertical axis of Wuji posture. Other times, students will actually raise the shoulders up and the elbows up as well. Perhaps you can see that a little bit better from this angle. I'm exaggerating a bit, but sometimes not even an exaggeration. Raising the elbows up is a common thing to do when the arms raise up, specifically when you're not used to relaxing and dropping the elbows and the shoulders even as the fingers come up. Which leads me to the essence of this exercise. The essence of this exercise is to extend energy through the hands like a wave. While the energy is extending up through the hands like a wave, it's also sinking down through the body as we root just a little bit more energy into the ground because we're extending energy out. Again, showing an active balance between yin and yang. The arms extending, this is yang, because we're moving away from Wuji in an expressive action, moving away from center out. The energy sinking back and down through the body is yin, for the very reason that it's the opposite type of action to the extending of the arms. So go back and look at the exercise again and see if you can notice that. Also, notice that even as energy comes up through the shoulders and then the elbows, as it goes to transfer from the shoulder to the elbow, the shoulder begins to drop. Then as it begins to move from the elbow to the wrist, the elbow begins to drop. Then as it goes from the wrist to the fingers, the wrist begins to drop. Point in case, it's a wave. So the whole arm doesn't remain stiff and rise up, nor does the whole thing push down. But it's a wave of extension and retraction, creating this direction of a circle as it moves up, back, and down, returning to center. Going back to the whole idea that yin and yang are always acting to return to Wuji, or to come out from Wuji. Yang being the away, yin being the return.